Logistics, flavor of the season, I would say right now. A lot of people looking at logistics. There is, in the past, if you look at our books, we have a large logistics team. E-commerce is the one which was taking a lot of space, bit of a slowdown there, but it'll continue. Besides manufacturing, as retail and manufacturing in particular expands in India, there will be logistics will increase its share of the real estate market. Of course, the game changer, the needle mover will be GST. And if GST comes in this year, for the first time we will see large logistic so-called parks or developments which has not happened. Of course, there will be a lot of warehousing which is coming up across India, where somebody is doing 1 million square feet, 500,000 square feet, 100,000 square feet. With GST coming in, I think for the first time India will see large logistic, at one location, large logistics park coming in, because they can do that to scale. International players will come in, domestic players will expand. Slow movement has already started, but this will be a major part of the real estate market going forward. Residential is given. Everybody is talking about affordable housing. I feel that in the past, a lot of talk has happened in affordable housing, but the real supply has not come in affordable housing. So, you would hear in the media and general discussion that affordable housing is where the demand is, and there will be a big push. But if you really look on the ground, that supply is not coming. We feel that going forward, we will, for the first time, will start seeing supply coming in the affordable housing side. And there is a reason for that. One is there where the number one reason is the maximum demand is in the affordable housing side. Number two is all the government SOPs which have been given. One is to the developer, where the developer can borrow cheap and he's got some incentives. But the bigger incentive is to the consumer, especially with the last budget or the announcement of increasing the definition, the size of affordable housing. So it used to be, if I'm not mistaken, 60 square meters, which is now, as they change the definition to the carpet area, which really means today you don't have to do a 400, 600 square feet affordable housing or low cost housing. You can take up to 900, 950 square feet, which means that even the middle, so-called the middle class, can avail of a larger, a 2-bedroom apartment. And if it comes under the affordable housing, then under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, you can get subsidized interest rate. So the biggest trigger for housing is mostly always when the consumers when the mortgage rates come down. But with this policy of the government, I'm not sure what the exact. I think it's 2 to 3% or 4% subvention. So you can borrow that much cheaper than the market. So imagine what that will do. So right now the supply is not there, but the supply will come because demand will increase, not only because of affordability, because of lower borrowing costs. So I feel that affordable housing, you will see all the talk which has been happening over the years, there will be supply coming that side. And like I already mentioned on the mid-segment sector. Like I mentioned in the past, there's so much happening in the real estate sector which will change. Regulation is a big one. And besides, RERA, which is again the hot topic, which has come in, there's Benami Land or Property Act, whatever it's called, where RERA itself will make a big difference. Initially, of course, again, that's a longer discussion, that they will be, whilst developers get used to registering, going through the finer points, because this legislation is fairly clear, but there's no shortcut to actually filling the forms, conforming to the norms, getting clarifications from authorities wherever there are gray areas. So next few months, that's what's going to happen as far as RERA is concerned. But again, I feel RERA is going to encourage a lot of the consumers to put in money, because today the residential real estate market sales are slow. One major reason is the economy, the sentiment, but the other reason is the confidence of the consumer to invest, because they're not sure will they get delivery, will they get what they're promised, with RERA coming in, I feel a lot of the people sitting on the fence who are not investing right now will get the confidence to invest. So itself, it's going to increase the number of people buying housing. And that should increase sales. Second is, because the supply will come in the price point we are talking about, that will also encourage, and this is where the market is, that's going to encourage people to buy. Third is the funding side I mentioned, that RERA will encourage both institutional, foreign and domestic institutional money coming in, because that institutional money knows that there's a regulator in place, there's less risk and to invest, and they will put in money, and that eventually will also bring down the cost of money for development. So legislation is really going to make a big difference. I've already mentioned about GST. I've already talked about financing, how financing will eventually, both the mortgage rates, interest rates will come down, and funding for the real estate. Customer expectations. I was mentioning to somebody that the awareness the consumer has right now, both in sometimes the hard way, the other is all the media, the research reports. Today, every newspaper, magazine, TV has a real estate program. There's also, because a lot of the companies are listed, the banks are taking out reports, companies like CBRE and others take out a lot of research reports. So there is a huge awareness. The consumers become more discerning. That will drive the market big time. Technologies are given, lots are happening. Operations side, there is the platform which is going to increase infrastructure. So there are many areas which will really transform the real estate market. Just lastly, very quickly, on CBRE, which I mentioned that what all we do and people don't realize. I just want to, besides the slide saying that how big we are, in India, we were the first international real estate consultancy to set up here in 22 years back. It was myself and 2 other people, and today we are more than 6,500 people. We do manage properties which is now the number is 235 million square feet. Globally, we manage 5 billion square feet. We've done construction management of more than 325 million square feet, and these are large numbers for the size of the market India is. Besides, we do leasing, consulting, but primarily as a company, like I showed in the first slide also, that people don't realize that we are totally connected to the real estate and infrastructure market from advising. So I just wanted to give a very quick picture. For example, if someone has got 1,000 acres of land or even 100 acres of land, we would first advise the client that what they can do on that land. In the olden days, what used to happen is the market is good, the developers say, I bought this land, okay, I can do residential, we'll call a few brokers and say, look, he'll say, what is the next development sold at? They'll say, okay, 6,000 rupees a square feet. They'll say, okay, fine. Let's do apartments at 7,000 or whatever price. And you would sell because the market was good. Today, market is more competitive, it's difficult, cost of money is high, so you have to take an informed decision. So our consulting arm would really advise them what can they make, and I can go on in detail and try to do it as quickly as possible. So what price point can the market absorb? What does the market want in size? Over what period of time you can sell? And that report will actually tell the developer that, look, he should do 200 apartments of this size, so much retail, so much office, which can be absorbed at what price over what period of time. Based on that report, we have the ability to raise money, because this is not a theoretical report. The institutions put money based on the report. So we have a capital markets arm which will raise money for that development. Then we have a project management arm. We will do the construction, be the project managers for constructing that development. Then we have the marketing arm which will market that project, and then we have a property and facilities management arm which will manage the facilities. So this entire gamut. And we also have a consulting which we do work with the infrastructure side. So all the large airports in India, we've been advisors, because airport itself is a big real estate play. To metros, Delhi Metro, we advisors, to railways, to highway projects, where how the real estate cross-subsidizes the cost of this infrastructure. So, there's across the country, we work with more than 15 state governments besides many central government. We were involved in, for example, the Delhi, Mumbai, industrial corridor project, which is the largest infrastructure project in India. So really what it does is that today we know every aspect from office leasing, retail, industrial, logistics, residential. So when we are in the market, we really connected to the entire industry, be it infrastructure, be it basically any business, be it manufacturing, services, chemical industry, steel industry to retail, would need real estate and we'll be there. So that's the quick picture. Just globally, I just want to end in saying that we are the number one, the largest real estate consultancy firm in the world. We are rated as Fortune 259 or 258 or 259 in Fortune 500, which is huge. We were $14 billion last year, and this is fee income. So we're not a manufacturing company. For a services firm where the revenue is only fee, 14 billion is massive. So globally, and that gives us and what does it mean for us in India? Is the platform. When you are that large, you can attract the best talent, you can put the strongest technology platform, and you have the best relationship globally. So this is relationship with corporates, relationship with funds and the financial institutions, the banks who are funding the real estate, and relationship with all the stakeholders in an economy. That's what this being Fortune 259 gives to us. So like I said, I can keep on talking, but hopefully that gives a better picture of